strange. Hi, Dink. I'm trying to fix this. I just need to see why it won't let me. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do, but that's fine. We'll make it work. Do you want a shadow? What? In the middle of the night, I unplugged this because I ripped on it too hard. I'ma spit the truth. I won't stop till I get them in their birthday suit. And then over to the front. Alright, let's see. This is the bound card. Confined and restrained. Be aware of the energy that you are emitting into the world, as it has an impact on both your surroundings and the people who are in them. Whether it is positive or negative, you may have made compromises by putting others' opinions or beliefs ahead of your own, which resulted in a life that isn't really rewarding or makes you the happiest. It also is possible that your guides are advising you to weigh the risks and rewards to choose which are more significant. What adjustments are possible today, and what modest actions can you do right now to realign yourself towards a richer and fuller existence? Making a list of the things that used to make you happy, picking up an old activity, or engaging in some reflection could help. Where does your reluctance to begin living the life you want come from? It's time to face your anxieties and examine the reason behind your action, which may have led you to opting for a safe lifestyle. Give less weight to the people who have hurt you or experiences that have caused you fear, and start to understand that you can be accepted for your true self, your heart's desires, and acceptance starts with you. Hi, Michael. Thanks for the follow. Thank you. That was a good shadow, I gotta say. I like that. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're welcome. Our guided meditation's at 1 o'clock over on the Patreon if you're someone who hangs out over there. So I figured I'd come over here and hang out for a little while. If you're someone who wants an oracle card, you let me know and I would be more than happy to pull it for you. We also got some 2000s throwbacks going on, so feel free to hang out and jam. Don't worry, I'll remind you. I'll remind you. Jamming out today. It's a good day to jam. Hello, Ken. Happy Father's Day. What'd you have for breakfast? A cupcake? Right? Peeping in. Did you have cupcakes for breakfast? I think you should have. We're paying. Wow. Now there's something stuck in my tooth. I would have. It's a good excuse for it. Just saying. Also, I just want everyone to know we hit 111 members on Patreon. I think that was really fun for today. Don't forget, our guided meditation is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the summer solstice, if you are someone who wants to come be a part of that. Ken, you want your card for the day? I'm pulling you in Dinky Shadows. It was hot today. I have no problem telling you I got up late. I still made myself walk though. Ugh, it was disgusting. It's supposed to be 89 today. This is the nonconformist card, rejecting beliefs and autonomy. You are making the decision to experience life to the fullest and embrace your awesome authenticity and truth. Your spirit guides are incredibly happy for you since you now recognize your own potential. What you have to offer has a tremendous amount of promise. You've arrived at the point where you're becoming more whole because you believed in yourself, and you've been gaining the ability to harmonize your consciousness with your darker soul aspects. Unity is now being integrated. You've come to understand that living your own life doesn't involve following other people's rules, beliefs, or directives, and that as a result of your experiences, only your perspective matters on your reality. You can now connect yourself with a higher frequency, achieving your full potential and releasing yourself from societal norms and institutions. You're aware that this integration fosters completeness and is only one facet of the mission and journey you were supposed to carry out. You sense this fullness with acceptance since you stopped looking for a destination and are learning to just be. It's as though the world is opening for you, and in your own power, because of your individuality, you can create whatever you desire. That was fabulous, Ken. I love this shadow deck. Big fan. Oh my gosh, this song will get us in trouble, I think. Hold on. Good song, though. You think I'm crazy. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday. If you're someone who would like an oracle card, let me know. I'd be happy to pull one for you. Our guided meditation is over in the Patreon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today if you are someone who wants to come hang out for that. And then our Meet Your Spirit Guide class is this afternoon at 3 p.m. Okay, hello. What's everybody up to today? Everyone's so quiet. Is there anyone who's hanging out who wants an oracle card? I'd be happy to pull one for you if you would like one. My God, why is this happening? Hi, Techie J. How are you? Good morning, Rebecca. How are you? Hi, C. All right, you got it. I'm going to do techies and then I'm going to do C's. Let's see what we got. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday in whatever way that means for you. And I hope you had a good summer solstice yesterday. All right, Techie J, what have we got? This is the discernment card. Discernment means sensing what feels right or wrong, trusting your judgment, and acting on it. Your angel guidance is to look at the people and situations in your life now and respond to your gut feeling. Learn to develop your intuition and ask the angels to help you discern the good from the bad. They will prompt and guide you. You will feel safer, happier, stronger, and clearer. Angel wisdom reminds you that you can be trusted to use discernment. You can sense the universe in a great way. Jay, that was a good one. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. All right, C, let's see. Hi, Helen. What do we got for C today? Hello. This is the purpose card. The angels remind you that every situation or person is placed on your path with a purpose. It may be to strengthen you, offer you an opportunity to resolve or forgive the past, release old patterns, or for enjoyment. Your life purpose is ultimately to do that which brings you joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. Seeking these soul qualities will place you on your path of your destiny. Once on your life path, allow nothing and no one to deflect you from your mission. Your guidance is to ask your angel to help you find the purpose of the current situation, or if you're ready, your life's mission. Align your strength and willpower and hold your intention to fulfill your purpose. The angels will support you and you will succeed. You got it, Rebecca. Oh, excuse me. See, that was fabulous. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the dads, the people who should be treated like dads but aren't. You're so welcome. And those of us who are a part of the Dead Dads Club. You got it, Helen. All right, let's see, Rebecca, what do we got? Don't forget our guided meditation and energy work is coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Rebecca, this is the mercy card. To develop the quality of mercy, forgive yourself and everyone around you. Be magnanimous and see the good in others and give them the benefit of the doubt. Open up to compassion, but most of all, access the wisdom within that recognizes the divine in every creature. When you temper your attitude to others with mercy, you offer them grace. You spread much light, joy, and freedom and empower others to find the good in themselves. Choosing this card may mean that the angels of mercy are offering you release from your pain or difficulties, so accept it graciously. That was fabulous, Rebecca. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. All right, Helen, let's see. What do we got? Helen, this is the acceptance card. Acceptance means unconditional love. The angels, remind you to accept everyone exactly as they are, without judging, blaming, or wanting to change them. When you're totally accepting, you bear no malice or enmity towards anyone or anything. Harmlessness through acceptance is a high state of being, and this is a difficult quality for humans to embrace, for it is a divine quality. Nevertheless, the angels are drawing it to your attention now. You are also asked to accept yourself, and when you truly do so, you'll feel centered and confident, and your divine self is revealed. Helen, that was fabulous. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day wherever you are out there in the ether. Happy Father's Day in whatever way that means to you. Don't forget, yesterday was the summer solstice. So today we are doing our summer solstice guided meditation and energy work. It is at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, it is our Meet Your Spirit Guide class. If you are someone who is signed up for that. And if you would like to get in last minute, I think I have a spot left. Right? It is one of the hardest things to do, but as long as we try, that's all that matters. Is there anyone else who's been waiting for an oracle card who has not had one yet? Don't forget that tomorrow is movie night in the Discord. We are watching a documentary if you would like to come hang out with us. What's everybody up to today? Anything exciting? Is it nice where you are? Tell me all the things. I'm just going to dance here. You're going to have to deal with that. If you don't want to talk to me, I'm going to dance. And I don't even like this song. So we're changing it. This is a good song. I support this one. Are we going to get in trouble for this song? Can't tell. We might. We won't for this one. Hi, 369. Happy Sunday. Wait a minute. We are listening to throwbacks this morning. So, that's very interesting. Hold on, I got to get you a song up just for you. Just for you. 1 second. Let's see. Thanks for the follow, dude. Now this is going to be blasting through my head. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday. This is another throwback of the day. Right? It's been a good day for that. Oh, let me see if I can get this up. Hello. 369, if you want an oracle card, you just let me know. I would be happy to pull it for you. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Don't forget, come hang out with us for the guided meditation and energy work. It's at 1 o'clock this afternoon. There is a class at 3 o'clock this afternoon to meet your spirit guides. If you are someone who would like to come hang out, feel free. Is anyone doing anything exciting today? I have a whole list of things. You guys have to have stuff that you got going on too. I know. I'm excited now to do more of it. I'm kind of mad that it didn't work out that way yesterday, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm just going to restart it on the 2nd. Makes a lot of sense, but I wish they would have explained it better. It's still fun though. And dinner and all the other fun things. Hold on, let's see. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Ooh, Helen, I like that. What's your first one you're going to watch? Good, I'm glad. It made me, you made me think of it. I accidentally closed Spotify. That's why the music stopped. Thanks for the heart, me, Dottie. Thanks for the follow. If you're someone who wants an oracle card, please feel free to let me know. I would be more than happy to pull it for you. If you've also never seen me before, my name is Molly. It's nice to meet you. I crawled out of the spiritual closet a little while ago, well, a year and a half ago, to start helping people bridge the gap. You got it. To start helping people bridge the gap between spiritual connection and genuine human connection, because we can all do these things. Hello, Dottie. Everyone can do mediumship, everyone can do energy work. It's about building the relationship with yourself to be able to accomplish that. And that is what I'm here to help with. All right, 369, thanks for the corgi. Let's see. What do we got? This is the multitasking card. Prioritization and facing adversity. Let's see. If you feel your progress is being stunted, you may need to pay attention to your priorities. The challenges that you faced have helped create lessons for you, but the road ahead is still filled with many obstacles, duties, and responsibilities. The good news is that you now possess much greater ability, understanding, and wisdom to overcome such obstacles so they don't have the same kind of impact and hardships that they once did. Stop buying into limiting assumptions and letting things overwhelm you. You can always fulfill your potential if you learn how to manage what you consider to be most important and let go of the small things. Control of every little aspect only hinders your progress. You've truly become a person who is capable of so much thanks to the durability and tenacity that you've developed, and you're learning how to manage your emotions and reactions so they become much easier to regulate because you're becoming familiar with dealing with them. As a result, you won't be caught off guard because you are much more aware of what to do in any kind of situation. Continue developing the strength and resilience that you need to understand that everything that has happened was meant to teach you, so that you can then approach anything that lies ahead from the same sort of perspective. The good thing about this is that you're acquiring reaction and regulation, which will enable you to reach your potential. Additionally, because you can manage your energy, you'll be able to handle things more efficiently. Hi, Ayana. That was a really good one, 369. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. Hi, ABC. How are you? Good morning. Thank you for letting me pull it for you. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. You're so welcome. Happy Sunday, happy Father's Day, and whatever way that means to you. If you are someone who would like an oracle card, please let me know. I would be more than happy to pull it for you. At 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing our guided meditation and energy work for the summer solstice. That's over on Patreon if you want to come hang out. And then we are doing the Meet Your Spirit Guide class, which is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And there's one spot left if you are someone who wants to sign up last minute. You've got it, Dottie. Let's see. What do we got for, whoa. Dottie, this is the generosity card. Generosity is a quality of spirit. It is rejoicing in the good fortune of others, even when you have nothing to celebrate yourself. It is an attitude of mind, which means that you are happy to give without expecting in return. Drawing this card invites you to be generous-hearted and indicates that you're ready to aspire to this noble quality. Angel wisdom suggests that you give of yourself freely, openly, and lovingly. The rewards for generosity are great, for all that you give from an open heart is multiplied and returned. Hi, Carl. Hi, Bree. Thanks for the heart me and the love you, ABC. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday. Dottie, that was a fabulous card. I am beautiful, Ayana. Thank you for asking. I hope everyone is having a great day. If you've never seen me before, nice to meet you. My name's Molly. I crawled out of the spiritual closet like a year and a half ago to start helping people bridge the gap between spiritual connection and genuine human connection, because everybody can do this work. Everybody can do mediumship. Everybody can do energy work. That's not something that is gate kept per se. The reason I would say that people gatekeep it from themselves is because they don't have the belief system in place to believe that it's something they're capable of doing. Everybody can do this work, and that's the reason that I do this work. Hi, Hunter. The reason that I do this work is because I want you to be able to take your power back in that same way, right? So if you're someone who feels like you're really just disconnected from yourself, you feel like you've had, these abilities throughout your life, but you haven't been able to tap into them, the more you tap into yourself, the more that you be able to connect further. I struggle with shamanism because shaman is a made-up word. If you go to the etymology of the word, it's a word that we've made up in modernization. And there are so many different classifications of it that a lot of the practices are considered initiatory. And so I think that might be what you're noticing is, depending on what the practice is, a lot of people will talk about the initiation and the ritual and the generational culture that goes into the work that they're identifying as that. Does that make sense? But there are tons of ways that you can build that for yourself, Hunter, and still call yourself that without somebody having to give you the keys to the kingdom. I can't say this enough. If you are someone who's you want to start learning things, you're curious about certain things, go inward, because sometimes, and this is going to be a hot take real quick, sometimes the gatekeeping is actually protecting you. So I just want to point that out. Sometimes we'll think that we want something really bad, and it's being withheld from us, and it's being withheld from us and withheld from us. And then we find out oh God, I'm so grateful that I never actually got that. And it's sometimes because we have to be open to what we need versus want. That's been a big thing this week. 369, I saw you ask me a question. Hold on one second while I scroll back up there. Will this interview work out today in my favor? I'm going to be honest. I feel like there's a couple things. Do you struggle with self-confidence in self-worth stuff? Carl, I'll be here, my friend. Also, I just want to say, okay, when I tapped into the energy of this question, the first thing I did was get that your big sinking feeling in your belly, that I also think that you have the inner need to prove yourself to others. And if you would just practice more of being your most authentic self, you would open up more doors than you think are currently available to you. Does that make sense? Sometimes we get comfortable in certain spots, for sure. So I get this feeling that I get a no, but then at the same time, I think if your confidence were to follow through with it, you would notice a change. Gabrielle, thanks for the manifesting. Do I have permission to come on over and visit you so I can tell you the things you need to know? Happy Sunday, everybody. Don't forget, our guided meditation is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Patreon for the summer solstice. Okay, the first thing I notice is your root chakra is really heavy. So this is where we hold foundational fears about our environment, fears of self, also other people's belief systems. The other thing too is you have this band that wraps around kind of the middle lower of your back. And so it tells me that there is some lingering beliefs that don't serve you from childhood. Also, how everybody has some trauma that comes along with them. The other thing though too is your heart is heavy, which is grief, but it doesn't feel like grief of someone who's passed. It's grief of releasing other people and certain versions of yourself. The next thing I noticed too, though, is that your throat is really dense. And so this is something where we struggle to share our emotions. We struggle to share our expression of ourself, what our truth is. And when I ask why this is here, it brings me right back down to your root chakra. So it gives me the impression that you struggle with feeling like you are worth sharing your thoughts and emotions, and also that no one would, it's one of those where it's probably not worked out when you have, so you keep it to yourself. So if there's anything I can suggest, find a way to get those internal emotions and thoughts out, whether you get them on a piece of paper, light them on fire, do something with them, but don't hold on to them, because they're just going to keep creating more density in the in-between. Let me see, Gabrielle, what your card is. This is the commitment card. Angel wisdom reminds you that when you aim for a vision without doubt or deviation, it must succeed. Your guidance is to persevere towards your vision and let every thought, word, and action be directed towards your desired outcome. Nothing is more powerful than focused energy, and the angels will see the pure light of your commitment, whether it is to a relationship, a piece of work, a journey, or anything else in life. Remember to ask them for help, and know when you dedicate your intention to the highest good, they'll support you. That was fabulous. Hello, Arlie. Good morning. Gabrielle, thanks for letting me come over in your energy, my friend. It's always an honor and a privilege. Hi, Bree. Hi, Savannah. It's in the Discord, Ayana. It is in the Discord. You're so welcome, Gabrielle. Bree, thanks for the manifesting. If you are someone who would like to be a part of the Meet Your Spirit Guide class today, it is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Discord. I believe I have one spot left if you are someone who would like to sign up. If you are someone who has already signed up, I will see you in the classes voice channel of the Discord at 3 p.m. And then don't forget, we are also doing the guided meditation and energy work for the summer solstice in the Patreon at 1 p.m. Ember's on a 7-day free trial too, if you're someone who wants to check it out. Oh, Bree, I appreciate you. All right, let's see. What do we got? Bree, I'm coming over there. The highest point of density, Bree, that I notice for you is the back of your neck. It's like right at the back of your neck where your head meets your spine almost. Like it feels like it's chronic-y, achy, but it also feels like it kind of comes intermittent. And so we hold on to like resentment. The other thing too is I think you're struggling with some self-doubt, because there's like it's not like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just cloudy and like dense. I wouldn't be surprised if you notice it as a physical manifestation of like brain fog. The only other thing that's really sticking out to me is your root chakra. And I think the reason it is because I think it's connecting to the overthinking. And I also think that you're overthinking something and cutting yourself off from your intuition. So just make sure that you're still listening to your gut and not letting fear overtake you. And it also feels like a fear of inadequacy. So like make sure that you know that you have the capacity to make the right decisions and like the right choices. So don't second guess yourself. Make sense, Bree? Let's see what your card is for the day. Savannah, I saw your hat and mustache. Give me 1 second and I'll come over to you. Ooh. Bree, this is the kindness card. In order to be kind, you must open your heart to the gentle qualities of caring and compassion. Be kind to yourself and have reasonable expectations, and give yourself due praise. In order to nurture the gentle quality of kindness, cherish yourself. When you do something for yourself, you automatically extend that same kindness to others. Kindness melts barriers of ice around people and re-empowers those who are afraid. So reach out to the lonely, draw out the shy, and include those who feel isolated, and comfort the sad. Your rewards will be a sense of inner peace, warmth, and love. Oh, look at that. 111 on the likes department. Da-da-da. Bree, that was fabulous. As always, thanks for letting me come over into your energy, my friend. It's always an honor and a privilege. Da-da-da. Savannah, what's your question? You're so welcome, Bree. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. Good moisty morning. Wow. Never felt drier. Da-da-da. Brittany, thanks for the follow, my friend. Must appreciate ya. I was going to say most, but it came out must, so we'll go like that. Oh, Savannah, that's it. Okay. So here, I'm going to tell you something. That question comes from a place of lack. And so following that question will lead you down a further path of lack. Does that make sense? So if there's anything I can say, and I will tell you this from personal experience, on days where I am like, you know, say there are days where I want to take time for myself, or I feel that I need to take a moment to myself. Sometimes the old guilt will creep in that I have to do more things, right? Well, you have to do this and you have to do this, or how are you going to do this? And what I will tell you is that the universe always provides as long as I am doing the next right thing and taking care of myself. So instead of worrying about it from a place of lack, what are some things that you can do with the right intention? And see how it goes. So my next suggestion too is put it out there in the ether and set the intention and let it ride and watch how it comes back to you. But if you focus and worry about it too much, you'll just perpetuate more lack. Da-da-da. Savannah, you want your oracle card for the day? So don't forget, if you are someone who wants an oracle card, please let me know. Number 2, there is a guided meditation and energy work in about an hour over on the Patreon. If you were someone who would like to come hang out, Ember's on a 7-day free trial. 2, there is a class to meet your spirit guides this afternoon. It is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's 1 spot left if you're someone who wants to sign up. The other thing too, Savannah, is if you start following your gut and doing what you love, that will follow, right? So if you're someone who you want to help others, you want to do readings for others, it's something you want to focus on, the more you put the right intention into it, the more it'll give back. Does that make sense? Arlie, do you want a card today? All right, let's see. What do we got, Savannah? Oh my goodness. Chaos. Let's see. Savannah, this is Archangel Jophiel. Archangel Jophiel works on the golden ray, drawing wisdom from source. Ask him to illuminate you and help you to connect with your own deep knowing. He will help you to learn and absorb information. So if you're studying or involved in any form of education, divine assistance is available to you now. Call on Archangel Jophiel for direction and strength, and he'll help you to remove negativity and become clear and open-minded. Jophiel. The angels remind you it is time for you to wear the golden cloak of wisdom, so visualize yourself in the gold light. So there's something to that statement. So if you say where it hasn't been fruitful in a while, I would say to look at your perspective on that. And the reason I say that is this. When I come to do readings and offerings for people, I don't come on here because I want to make money, respectfully. That's not like, is that a part of it? It is, but it's never my goal. When I come on to do these things, I simply set the intention that I want to be here and available and present for the people who need a message or need something in the moment. My thought isn't ever, oh, and I just need this. Because what I will tell you is if there are days where, say, and I learned this in the very beginning, where I'm focused on lack, it perpetuates more lack. So if you set the right intention and you're doing the work for the right reason, the energy exchange will start to form naturally without you having to push it. Does that make sense? All right, Arlie, let's see. What do we got for... Oh, Arlie, this is the kindness card. In order to be kind, I will tell you, focus on this statement. Focus on receiving, not sending. See how it changes. In order to be kind, you must open your heart to the gentle qualities of caring and compassion. Be kind to yourself and have reasonable expectations and give yourself due praise. In order to nurture the gentle quality of kindness, cherish yourself. When you do something for yourself, you automatically extend the same energy to others. Kindness melts barriers of ice around people and re-empowers those who are afraid. So reach out to the lonely, draw out the shy, and include those who feel isolated, and comfort the sad. That was a good one. Arlie, I love that. So do not forget, there is a guided meditation in a little less than an hour over on the Patreon. And then there is a class at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to meet your spirit guide. And there's one spot left for that class if you are someone who would like to come hang out. You're so welcome, Arlie. Is there anyone else who's been waiting for an oracle card who has not had one yet? Ooh, Dinky's on a mission. We need 3 more shares. Can you explain more what you mean? I don't know what the whole sentence is to focus on receiving versus sending. So instead of this is something I talk a lot about when I do private teaching sessions, because you're not the person doing the reading. You're not the person giving the information. You're the medium. You are in the middle. So your only job is to receive the information. Your job isn't to decipher it. Your job isn't to interpret it. Your job is simply to receive and give the information. So a lot of the times I see people who are readers get in their head, like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. And the answer is you're not doing anything. You just need to get yourself in a place to receive the information. If you feel that you're doing the work or you're sending it out there, your ego is at play and it will cut you off from the connection purpose. So if you're someone who's thinking about doing readings for people, make sure that you just are being in a place of, what is the intention for this? Are you feeding your own ego, or are you doing it out of service? And remember that if you're doing it for the right reasons, you know that you're not doing the work. You're simply just sharing the information that's given to you. And thanks for the corgi. Let's see what your shadow card is. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you guys for the follow. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day today. All right, let's see. What is Milso's shadow? This is the confusion card. Unclear and overwhelmed. So let's see. It's possible that your attempts to get clear have been hampered by impeding thoughts. You may have become uninterested and lost sight of your goals due to overextending yourself while juggling multiple tasks or rushing to the finish line. What should you do if you feel like you can't progress? Finding a place to clear your head in a peaceful setting is encouraged if you're feeling overwhelmed. It would be even better if you could be near water, since the healing power of the water will help you get rid of anything that isn't helping you now. Remember that spirits are guiding and supporting you during the time, and they encourage you and hold you responsible for your goals. Set aside some time and they will help you. When you're clear, everything will fall into place. Being present not only promotes healing, it also clarifies your needs in terms of where you should be going and what demands you should give your time and attention to. Have you been observing any signs, coincidences, or reoccurring numbers? The signs serve as a reminder to trust and let go and avoid getting sucked into the confusion. Take a moment to center yourself, relax, and free your mind. And the next time you take a shower or a bath, try establishing the intention to remove any bad energy and visualize the water washing away worrisome things. All right, let me see. Yeah, Savannah, honestly, if I can make any suggestion, before you worry about learning to observe others, you have to be capable of observing yourself. And so that's part of the other piece of doing this work, is you have to be able to go into your brain and step into the observer box and pay attention to what is yours and what isn't, because you don't create your own thoughts. If you're someone who has done work with me before, you know that your brain is just the receiver box. And so one of the exercises that I teach people is to step into the observer box. So if you're someone who gets like really overwhelmed with negative thoughts and cyclical patterns and intrusive thoughts that you can't seem to figure out where they come from, you're supposed to step into the observer box. And from there, you take control of what you're accepting and what you're not. So my best suggestion, and this is for the whole world, if you are not in a place where you can hold space for yourself like that, do not hold space for other people. Because how can you, right? How can you hold space for someone else if you can't hold space for yourself? So if you are still learning these things for you, practice and do the work with yourself before you take it outside of yourself. Because you will bring your own stuff into other people's readings. Honestly, Savannah, the exercise I teach is just really simple. It's you picture, have you ever, okay, here's a question. Are you in the Patreon? Because I don't even want to give you the observer box yet, because I don't think you have a treehouse. Do you have a safe space that you practice in? Like, do you have a safe space that you go to do your spiritual stuff in, astrally and energetically? Hunter, I will never say that you have to have a treehouse, but everybody needs a safe space to do their stuff. So if you are someone who is a part of the Patreon, I have a guided meditation called Building Your Treehouse. That meditation sets up your safe space. It puts your gatekeeper guides in order. It puts you in control. It sets up your boundaries. It sets up your energetic wards. If you are someone who's thinking about doing this work, whether it's for yourself, whether it's, whatever, you need a safe place to practice. And then there are, the meditation it shouldn't be locked. It depends also on what tier you're into. That, it might not be a free meditation. So those are like the biggest suggestions I have for anybody. Because there are also things about your treehouse that are specific. Like, do you have a trap door? How do you enter? How do spirits or your guides enter? What is set up in your room, right? There's not many rules for building your safe place, but there's a couple. And just being able to be present and aware of those is another way that we build awareness in our spirituality. I don't know how else to say that, but being able to have a safe space that you can go and start to practice is like the best thing. Because when people just kind of go all over the place, they'll scare themselves. That's interesting. One of my only rules when people build their treehouse, is that it can't have any dark spaces. And then the other reason that I put it up in the air is because if you're practicing doing astral things, you're practicing with spirit, I want to get you in the mindset of going up versus going down. So that's the other reason I teach it as a treehouse, because I want to give you the motor memory of going up. Because the way that a lot of us, you'll hear other channelers and things talk is the way in which they receive information. So if you've been around me long enough, you know that I receive information through my left side, which is why I'm up into the left, because I'm pulling myself up into the left. The only thing I will say about that is if you practiced how to control it versus being afraid of it, you would not have the fear of it anymore. Hunter, well, honestly, like whatever works for you on your journey, because what I teach and I think what you're looking to explore are completely different things. Just because the realm that the belief systems that I hold and the things I see, I don't hold a belief that anyone has a spirit animal, so to speak. I don't think anyone has a spirit animal that's with them all the time. It's not something I've ever seen. I see animal guardians that step in and give us symbols for other things, but I have never, just seen, like when people talk about their animal spirits, I'm never quite sure what they mean. And that's not because there's anything wrong with it. It's just because it's not in the level of understanding that I appear to be to want to go down, if that makes any sense. It's the same thing with Reiki. So when people try to talk to me about Reiki, I give all the grace and respect, but it's just not something that I teach, nor is it something that I ever want to understand and the way other people do. So a lot of people want to go down initiatory practices because they think, well, if it's been done before, someone will believe me when I do it. And frankly, I don't need anybody to believe me when I do my work, nor do I need anybody to understand it. Because it's not my job to make you believe me. It's not my job to convince you. I just do my thing. And if you are sticking around long enough or you're curious enough, it'll unfold for itself. I don't ever want to like convince anybody of anything, because that's proselytization, right? I don't want to like sell you anything. I just do the things that I know are real for me, and I know they're real for me because I've had too many experiences to say that they're not. And that's why I always encourage people to do the work for themselves, because the more experiences that you have, you will be more confirmed in what you experience, and you'll open yourself up to more experiences because you're willing to look at it. Yes, to answer your question, all of the guided meditations are for sale. They're $11 per meditation. So if you were someone who wanted to just buy one meditation, they're all individually priced at $11. Hi, Loki. How are you? Do 11 doll hairs, Savannah. They are 11 doll hairs. The Meet Your Spirit Guide class. If you want to do the Meet Your Spirit Guide class, it's $33. It's at 3 p.m. and you sign up by just sending it to whatever link works for you in the bio. And then you just put in the note that it's for the class, and then I'll just see you in the classroom at 3 p.m. Yes, that's fine. You can send it right there. Hunter, I don't also prescribe to that either. I don't think that people are a direct reflection of us, because I have met people who, okay, let me just give you this real quick. I used to be, in my old life, I did criminal justice stuff. I was a corrections officer. I worked with some pretty gnarly felons, okay? And one of the units that I had to deal with quite often was the SO unit. And I will tell you that I wouldn't say that some of those experiences are ever a reflection of me, are ever something I'll understand, are ever something that I see as something I need to look at for myself. What I do prescribe to the belief of is that we are all the same. We are all a piece of the same whole. So while I may be having this one experience right now, this other person may be having a different experience that I don't, know about. And it's also not my business to understand a lot of the things either. So, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that. It's the pedestal that probably bothers you. When people put themselves on a pedestal, and when people have the, I call it the audacity, it's the entitlement is really what it is. Whenever I see stuff like that, I lean more towards, as my guides will say, entropy. Okay, so whenever I do an energy reading with someone and there is some kind of something on board, whether it be, whether it be some mental health stuff, whether it be whatever it is, if that is present, they will tell me there is a disorganized energy channel that I have to be cognizant of. That, in learning that for me, has helped me destigmatize a lot of the reasons why people do the things that they do. So if there's anything I can say, do the butterfly effect, Hunter. Take a piece of paper and write down the qualities, right, that bother you about him. And then take some time to see, Are any of those qualities, right, bothering you? And I bet, so for me, the first thought that just popped into my head is, I get annoyed when I see people act with entitlement, because whenever in the past I have tried to act with entitlement, I have been knocked down, made fun of, and called out for it. So I had to do the shadow work around that. Why does it bother me? Like, I had another problem learning about women and men who are like pick-me's, okay? And I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. There's no judgment here. I'm just being honest. I had to go, like, there are some people that try so hard to, and I've seen it especially with women, sorry, not sorry, who like try so hard to get a man's attention. It's like, can you, like, hello? Are you all right? And I had to do some work around why that was so annoying. And the reason that it bothered me is because there has been times in my life where I have like bent myself over backwards just trying to get somebody to choose me. And they went, so when I see other people do it, it was an automatic reaction of, well, if it didn't work for me, why is it going to work for you? Why do you think that's going to work? It's a protective strategy. And so it took me a lot of time to unpack that. So this is for everybody. If you are someone who you're dealing with someone, you guys are continually butting heads, there's something that they're doing that like irritates the out of you, sit in, don't take it as a reflection of you per se, but sit and go, what part of me is begging me to recognize this cycle? What part of me is asking me to be present and acknowledge this? Because remember, in the world that I live in, emotions are energy, right? Hi, SJ. Emotions are energy. I'm going to read you. I did a little channeling about this not that long ago. Hold on, sorry. Okay. So I was reading Epictetus, and I kind of had this whole download and like whole channel conversation, so I'm going to try to explain it to you the best I can as it's in my notes, okay? Epictetus states that our emotions are a biased thought, okay? And it makes sense because those emotions are energy from old things. So that's why we are triggered and we react to certain things, because that old perception is still stuck in the experience that we had, right? I personally think that emotions are the energetic pathway switched on after the thought is accepted into your auric field. So think about it. We just talked about how you have to, I just got wicked goosebumps. You just have to sit in your observer box, right? And you make the decision, am I accepting this thought or not? It's the same thing where, say someone walked up to me and they called me a really bad name. If I accept that as a label for myself, if I accept that statement from them, now it's going to make me feel some type of way. But if I'm in my observer box and someone calls me whatever name they call me, I'm going to watch it go around the observer box and I'm going to go, ooh, okay, sorry you feel that way. But that has nothing to do with me because that's not true for me. So there is like so much to what we accept and what we hold. We don't just have to accept things from other people. Like if you've been on the lives long enough, there was a live stream, I think it was last week. The first 5 minutes, there were people in here calling me every name in the book. Someone was telling me to shut the fuck up. They were telling me that I was ruining their day by live streaming. And all I did was just push it out of the observer box. I just watched it go by because that's a reflection of you, not me. That's nothing that has to do with me. That's not a belief I hold about myself. I know who I am as a person. I know what my beliefs are. You know what I mean? I don't need to accept what you have to say. It's the same, like there was one time I did a live stream and I got a message afterwards that says, do you really believe you talk to dead people? And my answer was, yeah, dude, I really do. It's okay if you don't, but you aren't going to change my belief system, right? So this is why I always tell people, you don't have to take other beliefs on too. Just because My dad used to say this to me all the time. Just because your friend jumps off a bridge, should I let you jump off the same bridge? He would say stuff to me like that all the time. And so I feel the same way with the belief system. So say you're looking at a piece of paper that says the sky is purple, okay? But there's 7 people over here who are like, you're dumb because everyone believes it's red. So I'm looking at a piece of paper that says the sky is purple. It is factual. It is documented, okay? My belief is with the piece of paper, right? Hold that. So now, say you have 7 people over here that are like, we believe that the sky is red. All right. So does it make it true because 7 people believe it? No. That's just a mob mentality. So this is where the conversation of like thinking for yourself matters. Just because you believe something and someone else doesn't mean you're wrong. So I hope you all know that because you believe things differently, because you have different outlooks and different perspectives and different emotions, doesn't mean you're broken, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means you might just be further along than other people, and you also, some other people may be further along than you. This is why I like to say all the time, just because I understand something one way does not mean that you understand it that way. And my level of understanding is probably very different from your level of understanding. Therefore, it would be asinine to think that we could both have the same level of understanding when we're so different. So it's about being able to have these conversations so you can embrace your authenticity and still not be afraid to share it. Right, and thanks for the hearts. And still not be afraid to share it. So this is why, like, I do the work that I do. Yes, I talk to dead people. Yes, I do energy work. But my goal is to get you to talk to yourself. That's it. The relationship you have with yourself is the relationship you'll have with the rest of the world. On the Patreon last week, we did a class that is all about building a relationship with you and your guides, okay? And so I use this analogy. The analogy is this. You were born with a wardrobe, okay? It isn't a wardrobe that you picked out. This was a wardrobe that was given to you through generations and generations, and the wardrobe is just, here you go. This is what you got, okay? People spend time trying to replace the wardrobe, trying to get rid of the wardrobe. They try to bury the ugly sweatshirt in the back of the wardrobe instead of looking at the wardrobe as a whole and going, how do I make this work for me? If you don't like that sweatshirt, fucking change it. Dye it, sew an embroidery in it, cut the sleeve off. Do something. Stop trying to throw everything away and start over again versus working with what you have. That's life. You are given the wardrobe. Don't hide it. Don't throw it out. Don't not wear it. Use it. Cut it. Trim it. Dye it. Do whatever you have to do to make that your wardrobe. That's yours. Use the whole thing. But instead, we look at ourselves and we're like, no, I don't like that. No, I don't like this. No, I don't like that. Then find a way to fucking like it. Instead of just accepting it for what it is, right? Well, I don't like this part of me. Okay, let's get nosy about that. That's what I do in shadow alchemy sessions. If you're someone who comes to me and you're like, I hate myself, I'm like, let's unpack that. Because I bet you don't hate yourself. I bet that you have accepted other people's belief systems and you think everyone else hates you. And because you think everyone else hates you, you've now internalized it. And it's not true. But that's the belief system that you've accepted, right? You've allowed that into the observer box. So now you have to spend the time to unpack it. So I hope everybody knows that you are worthy of putting effort into yourself to be your best friend. And if you don't have a relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people will suffer. Because if you don't know how to have a relationship with you, how do you know how to have a relationship with Larry on Tinder? Right? And if you come from a line of dysfunctional family, right? Your parents don't know how to have a relationship. Your grandparents don't know how to have a relationship. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to learn how to do it. You can't just blame, it's always been like this. This is how we've done this for 100 years. Well, it ain't fucking working. Change it. I don't know why everybody's so afraid of that. Change what isn't working. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're afraid of yourself. You're not afraid of a demon. You're not afraid of an alien. You're afraid of your own shadow, the pieces of you that other people have made you feel inferior for. People have made you feel embarrassed about things, all these things, and it's your job to unpack it. Okay? I'm going to give you a real quick story. I'm a survivor of human trafficking. Okay? That's a part of my story, right? I'm a survivor of human trafficking. Do you know how many people will try to argue with me what that is? Do you know how many people will say, you were just a prostitute? Do you know how many people? Do I care? No. No. Because I have taken that whole side of my wardrobe. Hear me. I've taken that whole side of my wardrobe. Aren't you embarrassed? Shouldn't you be afraid? Shouldn't you that? Fuck no. No. Because I love that version of me. She kept me safe. I had to do things that I didn't want to do, but it kept me safe when I did them, right? I was given, you do this, you give me this. All right. Word. I learned how to love those versions of me. If you are someone who is actively dealing with trauma, you're dealing with parts of you that you don't like anymore, it is your responsibility to look at them and go, how do I love you? How do I love you? Instead of hating you, instead of resenting you, instead of wishing you never happened, instead of judging myself for it, I love that version of me because she protected me. I would not be this version of me if she didn't exist. I was a drug addict for 10 years? I've been 8 years sober now. Am I mad at that version of me? No. No. You know why I'm not mad at that version of me? One, that version of Molly didn't understand why she was so sensitive, why I was so overstimulated, why I couldn't handle my emotions. I didn't know any of the things that I know now. And all I was doing was trying to numb the things I couldn't understand, and no one tried to explain them to me. They just made me feel crazy, or they wrote them off as anxiety. And then I had to start doing the work to unpack and realize I was a drug addict because I was actively doing mediumship and energy work and all these things, and I didn't know, and no one taught me about it, and no one wanted to talk about it, so all I could do was numb it out. That's it. So I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at who she was, because that version of me taught me so many things that I would never have experienced unless that happened. So instead of holding yourself to this standard of you're a piece of junk, you shouldn't have done this, we all make mistakes, but we learn from them. We become better people. This is why I heard that phrase the other day. Grace is for giving yourself like a break as you're learning, as you're growing. You don't give yourself grace when you're repeating a pattern. So why are you still holding on to that version of yourself, right? You haven't done it again. You haven't let it repeat itself. But the more that you try to fend it off, it's going to happen again because you're going to pull that energy back in. This is where that saying is that we become the thing that we're most scared of. Right? People will say, I never want to become my parents. I never want to do this. And you spend so much time trying not to do that it happens. That's the law of attraction. So please, if you are someone who's working on like loving versions of yourself, you deserve to. And also, I have to say this, just because somebody else made you feel unlovable doesn't mean that you are. And just because somebody else is incapable of loving themselves doesn't mean anything is wrong to you. What do you mean by that, Savannah? Even if it's like manipulative abuse to other people's side? I don't know what that means. Hi, Courtney. Hold on, let me go back and see. Yeah, you're going to have to explain that one to me, Savannah. You're going to have to explain that one to me. So don't forget, in a little less than a half an hour, we are doing the guided meditation energy work over on the Patreon. Frank, thanks for the heart, me. Savannah, just because there are parts of you that acted out doesn't mean you don't love them, right? If your dog pees on the floor, do you not love your dog anymore? We have to understand the way in which we acted and why we acted that way. And the apology is in the changed action. Does that make sense? So we can't hold ourselves hostage forever. We can't. And you also have to remember that there are people who will hold versions of you against yourself that don't exist anymore. Okay, I'm going to give you another prime example, and then I do have to go soon. Here's the deal. I've been sober. I'm working on my 9th year of sobriety. Okay. And back in 2023, 2024, I lost a ton of weight. And, everybody's first rumor mill was that I relapsed. There was no truth to it at all. None. I didn't relapse, and my weight loss has been steady now for 3 years. And there are still people to this day who are under the impression that my weight loss happened because I relapsed and was on drugs. That has never been true. It is not something I've accepted either. So again, am I mad about it? I'm annoyed because it is something that will always be held against me no matter how much I grow. So even though I've been sober for years, even though I make the right decisions all the time, if there is something about me that changes that somebody can't understand or explain to themselves, they will make up a story that works for them. And that has nothing to do with me. So this is why I don't run around to correct people. Like, run whatever story you would like to. And I'm also not mad because you're holding a version of me against me who hasn't lived in 8 years. If that's who you still see, you don't deserve a place in my life, because if you can't see my growth, you also will never be able to see it for yourself or me. And those are the people that we sometimes have to make the decision of, it's time to step back. Because if that's the version of me that still exists for you, how am I going to be able to grow? You won't. So this is why I also say, like, be careful who you keep in your corner. Because I've gotten the argument so many times from people where they're like, but that's my family. They don't deserve to treat you like that. Like, I don't know what else to say. There is nobody on this earth who gets to treat you poorly because of who they are. That's just not how this works. You can't just treat someone like garbage because you think that since you're blood, it gives you a pass. That's not true. So please, no matter how long you've known people, make sure that you're making the right choices for yourself about what you will allow and what will continue in your life. So here's the deal. I'm going to run away because in 20 minutes, we're doing a guided meditation over on the Patreon. If you want to come hang out for the guided meditation, Ember is on a 7-day free trial. If you would like to be present for it, come hang out. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are somebody who is signed up for the Meet Your Spirit Guide class, that is today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the classes channel. Hi, Monica, the classes channel of the Discord. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. This live stream will be uploaded to YouTube like they all are. So if you want to go and re-listen to it, if you want to go watch readings, whatever it may be, come hang out with us on YouTube and Discord, and I will see some of you